They say you never truly know someone until they have power. Elena spent 5 years taking Liam's money, his time, and his heart to get through law school. But the moment she put on that black robe, she didn't see a partner. She saw a stepping stone she no longer needed. At her graduation party, she didn't just break up with him. She humiliated him. She poured red wine over his head in front of a laughing crowd, filming it for the world to see. She thought she was washing her hands of her poor past. She didn't realize that the wine wasn't just on his shirt. It was on her future. Because the man she just publicly mocked. He didn't just pay for her degree. 2 years ago, he inherited the very law firm she was desperate to join. On Monday morning, Elena didn't walk into a promotion. She walked into an audit. Sit back. Witness the collapse of a narcissist. Subscribe to sovereign truth. Let us begin. The wine was cold when it hit his face. Red droplets slid down his cheek. They stained the collar of his button-down, the cheap one from Target, the only dress shirt he owned. Elena stood above him, empty glass in hand. She didn't apologize. She smiled. The rooftop terrace went silent. 70 people in designer clothes holding champagne flutes watching. Then someone laughed. Then everyone laughed. Phones came out, not to help, to record. 12 cameras, 12 angles, 12 pieces of evidence. Elena raised her voice, performed for the crowd. Everyone, this is Liam. He's a teacher. He helped me study back in the day. The way she said teacher made it sound like peasant. The way she said study made it sound like pity. A man in a Rolex laughed. A teacher? Damn, bro. What's that pay, like $40K? Elena smirked. Something like that. Another woman drunk on champagne and cruelty. Oh, honey, you upgraded. Elena tilted her head, looked down at Liam like he was a stain on her Louboutins. You really should have dressed better, Liam. This is a professional crowd. He stood there, wine dripping from his chin, his shirt ruined, his hands at his sides. He didn't wipe his face. He didn't defend himself. He just looked at her, really looked at her, and then he did something no one expected. He smiled. Not a big smile, just a small one, the kind that says, I know something you don't. Elena saw it. It made her uncomfortable, so she poured gasoline on the fire. You know what? Let me help you make an impression. She poured the rest of her glass over his head. The crowd erupted. Gasps turned to laughter. Someone shouted, Yo! A woman shrieked, Elena, oh my God! Someone else, Savage! Absolutely savage! Liam stood there, soaked, silent. One person, a guy in the back, quietly asked, Dude, are you okay? Liam nodded. I'm fine. Elena was already captioning the video on Instagram. Out with the old hashtag, level up hashtag, new chapter. She posted it. Hit share. Liam turned, walked to the elevator. His shoes squeaked. Wine dripped on the marble floor. The doors opened. He stepped inside. As the doors closed, he pulled out his phone. He didn't call a friend, didn't text his mom. He opened an app Elena had never seen him use. The screen read, Sterling and Associates Executive Portal. He logged in. Username, LR_Carter_owner. He navigated to employee records. Typed, Elena Reyes. Her file appeared. Hire date, salary, performance reviews. He opened a second tab. Employment contract, section 4.3. Read the clause one more time. Employee agrees to conduct themselves with integrity in public and private settings, avoiding any behavior that could bring disrepute to the firm or demonstrate deficiency of character necessary for the practice of law. He took a screenshot of the Instagram video, saved it to a folder labeled E. Reyes, Termination. Then he opened a third file, one buried deep in his personal documents. Personal loan agreement, Elena Reyes, $89,000, August 2020. He scrolled to Section 7, subsection B. In the event of moral breach, fraud, or abandonment of the relationship for which this loan was granted, the full principal amount becomes due immediately upon demand. He closed his laptop, got in his car, a 2011 Honda Civic with a dent in the bumper and a check engine light that had been on for 2 years. Drove home to his one-bedroom apartment, took off the wine-stained shirt, threw it in the trash, showered, sat at his kitchen table. And then, Liam Carter, high school history teacher, son of an absent father and the man who'd just been humiliated in front of 70 people, did something Elena would never see coming. He opened his calendar, scheduled a meeting. Monday, 8 a.m., corner office, all senior partners. Termination, Elena Reyes. He sent the invite. Then he went to bed. He didn't toss and turn, didn't cry into his pillow. He slept like a man who'd just made peace with something. Because here's what Elena didn't know, what she'd never bothered to ask, what her arrogance had blinded her to. The man she'd just humiliated wasn't just a high school teacher. He was the owner of Sterling and Associates, the law firm that had hired her, the firm that signed her paychecks, the firm that held her entire future in its hands, and he'd owned it for 2 years. Let me take you back. 5 years earlier, Liam Carter was 28 years old. He taught AP/US history at Lincoln High, made $47,000 a year, drove that same beat-up Civic, lived in a cramped apartment with water-stained ceilings and neighbors who screamed at each other at 2 in the morning. But he was content. His father had left when he was 8. Richard Sterling walked out on a Tuesday, said he was going to get cigarettes, and never came back. Liam's mother, Maria, worked 2 jobs to keep them afloat, cleaned office buildings at night, worked retail during the day. Liam remembered sitting on the apartment steps when he was 8 years old, asking his mom, "When's Dad coming home?" She cried. She held him. She didn't answer. So Liam learned early. The most important thing a man can do is stay. He became a teacher because of that. To be present, to show up, to be what his father never was. And on a Tuesday morning in September, he walked into a coffee shop on Maple Street, ordered black coffee, extra hot. A waitress bumped his table. The coffee spilled everywhere. His shirt, his laptop bag, his papers. The waitress froze. Her name tag read, Elena. She was young, 23 maybe, dark circles under her eyes, exhausted. "I'm so sorry," she whispered. Her voice shook. "I'm so sorry. I can't afford to replace your laptop. I don't have—" Liam held up a hand. "It's okay. It's not—" "I said it's okay." He smiled. "How about you sit with me instead?" She blinked. "What?" "Your shift ends in 10 minutes, right?" He gestured to the clock. "Sit with me. We'll call it even." She sat. They talked for an hour. She told him everything. About dropping out of community college, about $18,000 in debt from 2 semesters she couldn't finish, about feeling like a failure at 23. "I wanted to be a lawyer," she said quietly. "I know that sounds stupid now, but I thought—" "It doesn't sound stupid." She looked at him. "You don't know me." "I know you're still here," he said. "That's not failing. That's fighting." No one had ever said that to her before. 3 months later, they were together. 6 months later, over dinner at that same diner booth they'd come to love, Liam asked, "What if you went back to school?" Elena laughed. Not a happy laugh. A bitter one. "With what money, Liam?" "What if I helped?" She stopped laughing. "You're a teacher. You don't—" "I have enough." He didn't. But he'd make it enough. He paid for her LSAT prep course, $1,200. He worked summer school 3 years straight so she wouldn't have to waitress during finals. When his car broke down, he took the bus for 4 months because she needed her car for internships. He co-signed her student loans, $89,000. Every single morning at 5 a.m., he woke up before her, made her coffee, left sticky notes on her textbooks. "You've got this. I believe in you." He quizzed her on tort law while she ate cereal. He held her while she cried over failed practice exams, stayed up until 4 in the morning drilling her on constitutional amendments. When the acceptance letter came, full ride to state law, she screamed, jumped into his arms, kissed him like he'd hung the moon. "We did it!" she yelled. "You did it!" he corrected. "I couldn't have done it without you, Liam. I mean that." He believed her. God, he believed her. But here's the part Elena never knew. 2 years into her law school journey, right around the time she was drowning in civil procedure and evidence, Liam's phone rang. Unknown number. He almost didn't answer, but something made him pick up. "Liam, this is your father." Silence. Liam hadn't heard that voice in 20 years. Richard Sterling, the man who'd abandoned him, the man who'd chosen nothing over his own son. "I don't have a father," Liam said. His voice was ice. "I know I don't deserve—" "You're right. You don't." Pause. "Liam, I'm dying." Silence. "I have stage 4 pancreatic cancer, 6 months, maybe less." Liam's hand tightened around the phone. "Why are you telling me this?" "Because I need to see you." "No, Liam, please." He hung up, sat at his kitchen table, stared at the wall. Elena was at the library, wouldn't be home for hours. His phone rang again. Same number. He didn't answer. A voicemail came through. Against his better judgment, he listened. Richard's voice weak now. "I know I have no right to ask, but I'm at Mercy General, room 412. I'll be here until I'm not. I don't expect forgiveness, Liam. I just want to see you. One time, that's all." Liam deleted the voicemail, went to bed, but he couldn't sleep. At 2 in the morning, he called his mother. "Mom, baby, what's wrong?" "He called me." Silence. She knew who he was. "What did he want?" "He's dying. Cancer. Wants to see me." His mother was quiet for a long time. Then, "Do you want to see him?" "No." "Then don't." "But, Liam," her voice was firm, "you don't owe that man anything. Not your time, not your forgiveness, nothing." "I know." "But?" Liam exhaled. "What if I regret it?" His mother sighed. "Baby, you'll regret it either way. You go, you'll be angry you wasted your time. You don't go, you'll wonder what if. There's no winning here. So what do? You do what you can live with." He went. 3 days later, he walked into Mercy General, room 412. The man in the bed didn't look like the father he remembered. That man had been strong, tall, intimidating. This man was a skeleton, tubes everywhere, skin gray, eyes sunken. Richard saw him, tried to sit up, couldn't. "Liam!" Liam stood in the doorway, arms crossed. "You have 5 minutes," Richard nodded. "That's more than I deserve." Silence. "I'm not here for apologies," Liam said. "I don't care if you're sorry." "I am." "I said I don't care." Richard looked at him, really looked at him. "You look like your mother." "Don't." "I know." Richard coughed. It sounded like his lungs were shredding. "I didn't call you here to beg. I called because I need to give you something." "I don't want your money." "It's not about what you want. It's about what I owe." Liam said nothing. Richard gestured to a folder on the nightstand. "Open it." Liam didn't move. "Please." Liam walked over, opened the folder. Inside, legal documents, a will, deeds, stock certificates. "What is this?" "Everything I built," Richard said. "The firm, the properties, the portfolio, it's yours." Liam stared at him. "You're insane." "I'm dying." "I don't want it." "Then burn it. Give it away, I don't care." Richard coughed again. Blood flecked his lips. "But it's yours. Legally. I already filed the paperwork." "Why?" "Because I can't undo what I did, but I can give you what I made." Liam threw the folder on the bed. "You think this fixes 20 years? No. You think I'll forgive you because you're dying? No. Then what do you want from me?" Richard looked at him, eyes wet. "I want you to know that leaving you was the worst thing I ever did, And I want you to have what I built so you never have to struggle the way your mother did. Liam felt his throat tighten. He hated it. I don't want your guilt money. It's not guilt money, it's blood money. I built that firm by abandoning you, so it's yours. You paid for it. Silence. Liam turned to leave. Liam. He stopped, didn't turn around. I loved you. I was just too broken to show it. Liam walked out. He didn't go back. 2 weeks later, Richard Sterling died. The will was executed. Everything went to Liam. Sterling and Associates, a law firm with 43 attorneys and an 8-figure annual revenue, the penthouse downtown, the investment portfolio, all of it. Liam didn't want it. He called his mother. I'm giving it away. Like hell you are. Mom, that man owes you. He owes us. You take that money, you take that firm, you use it. I don't know how to run a law firm. Then hire people who do. But you keep it, Liam. You hear me? He kept it. He hired a managing partner to run day-to-day operations. He stayed in the background, reviewed financials, signed off on major decisions, collected the profit share. And he kept teaching, because that's who he was. Not the son of Richard Sterling. Liam Carter, high school history teacher, the man who showed up. He never told Elena, not because he was hiding it, but because he wanted her to love him for who he was, not what he owned. He thought, I'll tell her after she graduates, after she's settled, when she's happy and secure. He thought she'd be proud of him. He was wrong. Elena graduated top of her class. The ceremony was on a Saturday. Liam sat in the back of the auditorium, clapping louder than anyone when her name was called. After, she was swarmed. Recruiters, partners from big firms, classmates taking photos. Liam waited at the edge with flowers. When she finally saw him, she smiled. But something in her eyes had changed. Liam, you came. Of course I came. I promised. She took the flowers, barely looked at them. They're nice. Thanks. A woman in a power suit interrupted. Elena, we need to talk about your start date. Elena turned to her immediately. Absolutely. Let's... Liam stood there holding his car keys, feeling invisible. The woman glanced at him. Oh, sorry. Are we interrupting? Elena waved a hand. No, this is Liam. My friend. He's a teacher. Friend, not boyfriend, not partner. Friend. The woman smiled politely. How sweet. Then back to Elena. So, about your office assignment? They walked away. Elena didn't look back. Liam stood there for 10 minutes. Then he left. That night, he texted her. Congrats again. I'm proud of you. Dinner this week? Her response came 2 hours later. Busy with onboarding? Rain check? Week 2. Client meeting ran late. So sorry. Week 3. We need to talk. He knew what that meant. They met at the diner, their booth, the one with the ripped vinyl. The waitress who'd watched them fall in love over 5 years smiled when they walked in. The usual? Liam nodded. Elena said, Just water. I'm not staying long. The waitress's smile died. They sat. Liam looked at her. She looked at her phone. Elena. Liam, you're a good person. His stomach dropped. That sounds like a breakup line. She put her phone down. It's not a breakup, it's an evolution. An evolution. We've grown apart. We haven't grown apart. You got a job. I got a career. There's a difference. Silence. So what are you saying? He asked. She sighed, like he was making this harder than it needed to be. I'm saying we wanted different things. I wanted to be someone. You wanted to stay this. She gestured. At the diner, at his shirt, at him. I wanted you, Liam said quietly. You wanted the version of me that needed you. I don't need anyone anymore. So the 5 years, we're important. You helped me grow. I'm grateful. Grateful. Yes. You should be proud, Liam. You were part of my journey. A stepping stone. She didn't even flinch, if that's how you want to phrase it. Liam felt something crack inside him, not his heart, something deeper, his faith in her. So that's it? That's it. He reached for his wallet. She stopped him, pulled out her own, new leather designer. I make 6 figures now, Liam. I can pay for my own water. I know you can. Then let me. No. He put cash on the table, tipped 50%. The waitress, Doreen, her name was Doreen, watched from behind the counter. When Liam walked past, she touched his arm. You okay, honey? He nodded. I will be. Elena was already in her car, brand new Tesla, leased. His Civic sat next to it, dented and pathetic. She rolled down her window. Liam, you really should upgrade that car. It runs. Barely. She drove away, didn't wave. He stood in the parking lot for a long time, not heartbroken, just certain. 3 days later, an invitation arrived, embossed cardstock. Her new address, a downtown loft. You're invited to celebrate Elena Reyes. Join me for cocktails and a toast to new beginnings. Saturday, 8 p.m., cocktail attire. His mother saw it on the counter. You're not going. I am. Why? Because I need to see it. See what? Who she really is, not who I wanted her to be. His mother grabbed his hand. Baby, she already showed you. Not in public, he said, not in front of witnesses. Saturday night. Liam stood in front of his bathroom mirror, the cheap blazer from Target, the same one he'd worn to his mother's birthday, the only dress shirt he owned. He tried to knot his tie. His hands shook. His mother knocked. You look handsome. I look out of place. You look like yourself. That's enough. He drove to the address, a high-rise downtown, valet parking. The kid in the red vest looked at his Civic like it was contaminated. I'll park it myself, Liam said. Took the elevator to the rooftop. 40 floors, mirrored walls. His reflection stared back at him, multiplied into infinity. The doors opened. A woman with an iPad and a clipboard smiled. Name? Liam Carter. She scrolled, frowned. You're on the list, huh? Like she was surprised Elena had invited him. Elevator's behind you if you change your mind, she said. He walked in. The terrace was stunning. String lights, champagne towers, a skyline view that cost more than he made in a year. 70 people in designer everything. Suits that cost thousands, dresses that cost more. And then there was Liam, polyester blazer, scuffed shoes. He felt every eye on him. Elena saw him from across the terrace. Her face hardened. She walked over, smiled for the crowd, hissed under her breath. What are you wearing? What I have. I said cocktail attire. This is all I own, Elena. She sighed, loud, performative. Then she grabbed his arm, pulled him toward a group of her co-workers. Everyone, this is Liam. He's a teacher. He helped me study, back in the day. The way she said back in the day made it sound like ancient history. A guy in a Rolex laughed. A teacher? Damn, bro. What's that pay? Like 40K? Liam didn't answer. Elena did. Something like that. A woman in Chanel leaned to her friend, loud enough for everyone to hear. God, I could never date a teacher. The friend. Right? I need someone ambitious. They both looked at Liam. Elena smiled. Didn't correct them. Another guy, finance bro, slicked back hair, clapped Liam on the shoulder. Hey man, respect. Teachers are important. My kid's teacher is great. Works so hard for what, pennies? Noble, dude. Really noble. It wasn't a compliment. It was pity. Liam stood there, silent. Elena tapped her champagne glass. The terrace went quiet. I just want to thank everyone for being here tonight, she began. This year has been transformational. The crowd nodded, murmured agreement. I've learned so much about who I am, about what I deserve, about the difference between where you start and where you're meant to be. Her eyes flicked to Liam. To growth, she raised her glass. To leaving behind what no longer serves us. To knowing your worth. Here, here! Everyone drank. Liam didn't. Elena walked toward him. Slowly, the crowd sensed something. Phones came out. Not for photos, for content. She stopped in front of him, glass in hand. Liam, she said loud enough for everyone to hear, you really should have dressed better. This is a professional crowd. I wore what I had. And that's the problem, isn't it? Silence. The terrace held its breath. Elena tilted her head, smiled. You know what? Let me help you make an impression. She lifted her glass and poured. The wine hit his face, cold, red, violent. It soaked his hair, his collar, his chest. Gasps, then laughter. Someone screamed, "Oh my God!" Someone else. "Yo, Elena!" A woman. Savage. Phones everywhere. 12 cameras, 12 angles. Liam stood there, wine dripping from his chin. He didn't wipe it away. He looked at her and smiled. Not big, just small. The kind that says, you have no idea what you just did. Elena saw it. It unnerved her. So she poured the rest of the glass over his head. The crowd lost it. Laughter, cheers. Someone started a slow clap. Elena pulled out her phone, started typing. Caption, out with the old hashtag level up hashtag new chapter posted. Liam turned, walked to the elevator. His shoes squeaked, wine dripped on the marble. One guy, just one, asked quietly, "Man, you okay?" Liam nodded. "I'm fine." The elevator doors closed. Silence. He pulled out his phone, opened the Sterling and Associates executive portal, logged in, opened Elena's employee file, opened her contract, opened the personal loan agreement, took a screenshot of her Instagram post, saved everything to a folder, Reyes, Termination. Then he sent a text to his assistant, schedule Monday 8 a.m. corner office, all senior partners, termination meeting, Elena Reyes. Response, understood, Mr. Carter. He put his phone away, got in his Civic, drove home, threw the shirt in the trash, showered, went to bed, and slept like a man who'd just been set free. Because on Monday morning, Elena Reyes wasn't walking into a promotion. She was walking into an audit. Sunday night, the video hit 180,000 views. The comments section was a war zone. This is why character matters in the legal profession. Yikes. Imagine doing this to someone who supported you. She's trash. Someone find out who this guy is. I want to buy him a beer. She works at Sterling and Associates. Just saying. Elena didn't read the comments. She was too busy celebrating. By Sunday night, she'd gotten 53 new followers, 3 interview requests from legal podcasts, a DM from a lifestyle brand asking if she'd promote their wine glasses. She felt untouchable. Monday morning, her alarm went off at 5:30. She rolled out of bed in her luxury loft, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. Peloton ride, new personal record, green smoothie, turmeric latte. She put on her new suit, Armani, first big purchase from her first paycheck, looked at herself in the mirror. You made it, she whispered. She believed it. Her Tesla, leased, but nobody needed to know that, was waiting in her reserved parking spot. She slid into the driver's seat, connected her phone. Beyoncé's Formation blasted through the speakers. She sang along, loud, confident. She pulled into the Sterling and Associates underground garage at 7:45, swiped her key card. The lobby was quiet, a few early associates grabbing coffee. The receptionist, the young woman Elena had snapped at last week for misspelling her name on the nameplate, looked up, made eye contact, looked away. Elena rolled her eyes, still bitter. She took the elevator to the 15th floor, her floor. When the doors opened, Marcus, the paralegal she'd refused to help last week, was standing there with a file box. He saw her, looked at the floor, stepped aside, Didn't say good morning. Jealous, Elena thought. She walked to her desk, logged into her computer. 7:48 a.m. A calendar notification popped up. Meeting, 8 a.m., corner office, executive leadership, mandatory. No subject line, no agenda, no context. She frowned, pulled out her phone, texted Gregory Hahn, her mentor. Do you know what this meeting is about? 3 dots appeared, then disappeared. No response. She called him. Straight to voicemail. She texted another senior associate. Hey, got called to a meeting on 40 with leadership. Know what it's about? Response. No idea. Good luck, though. Elena's stomach twisted, but she pushed it down. It's probably a promotion, she told herself. They saw the video, they know I'm bold, that's what they want. She stood, smoothed her suit, grabbed her coffee tumbler, stainless steel, custom embossed with her initials. Took the elevator to the 40th floor, the executive wing. She'd never been up here. The elevator doors opened. Marble floors, glass walls, oil paintings of the firm's founding partners. It smelled like leather and old money. The assistant's desk outside the corner office was empty. The door was closed. Elena checked her watch. 7:58. She raised her hand, knocked twice. Silence. Then from inside. Come in. A male voice. Unfamiliar. She opened the door. The room went silent. 4 senior partners stood along the wall, arms crossed, faces blank. No one spoke. No one moved. Elena's eyes scanned the room, and then she saw the desk, the massive mahogany desk at the center of the office, and the man sitting behind it. Her coffee tumbler slipped from her hand. It hit the marble floor. The lid popped off. Coffee spread across the white stone like a bloodstain. No one moved to help her, because the man behind the desk, in a charcoal suit that fit like it was custom-made, in a high-back leather chair, under a nameplate that read L.R. Carter, Esquire, Managing Partner, was Liam. Elena's mouth opened. No sound came out. Her knees buckled. She grabbed the back of a chair to steady herself. Liam didn't stand, didn't smile, didn't say a word. He just looked at her. Gregory Hahn stepped forward. His voice was cold, formal. Ms. Reyes, allow me to introduce the principal shareholder and managing partner of Sterling and Associates. Pause. Liam Richard Carter, son of the late Richard Sterling, founder of this firm. Another pause. He has owned this firm for 2 years. Elena's eyes darted to the nameplate on the desk, to the diplomas on the wall, Stanford Law, Order of the Coif, Federal Clerkship, to his face. No wine stains now, no cheap blazer, just power. She tried to speak. I didn't... Liam raised one hand. She stopped. He leaned forward, elbows on the desk, hands clasped. Ms. Reyes. His voice was calm, measured, legal. Your employment with Sterling and Associates is terminated. Effective immediately. Elena's voice cracked. You can't... I can. He slid a folder across the desk. And I am. She didn't take it. Section 4.3 of your employment contract, Liam continued, the Morality and Public Conduct Clause. You signed it on your first day. You violated it on Saturday night. That was personal. You tagged your employer in your LinkedIn profile. You filmed it in public. You posted it for the world to see. He turned his laptop screen toward her. The video. Paused on her face. Mid-pour. Smiling. 340,000 views as of this morning, Liam said. The State Bar received a formal complaint at 7 a.m. Character and fitness review has been triggered. Elena's face went white. Liam, please. Mr. Carter. Silence. That landed harder than anything else. Liam opened a second folder. This, he said, sliding it across the desk, is a personal loan agreement, dated August 2020. You borrowed $89,000 for law school tuition. Elena stared at it. You said that was financial aid. I never said that. You assumed. But you signed this. You didn't read it. She opened the folder. Her hand shook. There it was, her signature, right there at the bottom. Section 7, subsection B, Liam said. In the event of moral breach, fraud, or abandonment of the relationship for which this loan was granted, the full principal amount becomes due immediately upon demand. He paused. You called me a stepping stone. You publicly humiliated me. You ended the relationship. The loan is due in 30 days. I don't have $89,000. Then you'll default. Your credit will collapse, and the co-signer, he glanced at the document, your mother, Maria Reyes, will be held liable. Elena's face crumpled. No, you can't. I already did. Liam stood. He walked to the window, his back to her, looked out at the city. My father abandoned me when I was 8 years old. His voice was quieter now, but no less devastating. I spent my childhood wondering what I'd done wrong. I spent my adulthood trying to be the opposite of him. He turned, looked her in the eye. I stayed, Elena, when things were hard, when money was tight, when you were stressed and mean and scared. I stayed. Pause. Because that's what love is. Staying when leaving is easier. Elena was crying now. I didn't know you. You didn't ask. Silence. You saw a high school teacher and decided that was all I'd ever be. You saw my car, my clothes, my apartment, and you felt ashamed. He stepped closer. You didn't see the man who paid for your dreams while you slept. Pause. You called me a stepping stone. You were right. I was the foundation that held you up while you were weak. He leaned on the desk. But you misunderstood something about stones, Elena. His voice dropped. When you kick them, you're the one who breaks. Silence. Liam pressed a button on his desk. The door opened. 2 security guards stepped in. You have 10 minutes to clear your desk, Liam said. Security will escort you. Do not contact me. Do not contact anyone at this firm. Do not ask for a reference. He sat back down, turned his chair toward the window. The video is your reference. The guards moved to either side of her. She tried to stand. Her legs wouldn't work. One guard offered his arm. She took it. As they led her to the door, she looked back. Liam was already looking at the city, not at her. The door closed. Elena stood in the corner office, flanked by security guards, trying to process what was happening. Liam sat behind the desk, calm, unmoved. She tried one more time. Liam, please, we can talk about this. Mr. Carter, she flinched. Mr. Carter, she corrected, her voice breaking. This is insane. You can't do this because of a personal... This isn't personal, Ms. Reyes. This is professional. He opened another folder. Let me walk you through what's going to happen. His voice was clinical, detached. First, your termination is effective immediately. Your access to firm systems has been revoked. Your key card has been deactivated. Your final paycheck will be processed according to state law, minus outstanding debts to the firm. Elena shook her head. What debts? Your company laptop, firm-issued phone, the signing bonus you received on your first day, $10,000. Per your contract, if you're terminated for cause within the first year, that bonus must be repaid in full. Her face went pale. I spent that. I know. You'll receive an invoice. He turned a page. Second, the State Bar has opened a character and fitness investigation. You'll receive official notice within 72 hours. The video has been submitted as evidence. You have 14 days to respond. I can explain. You assaulted a civilian, Ms. Reyes, on camera, for entertainment. There's nothing to explain. Silence. Third, the personal loan, $89,000, due in 30 days. If you default, your co-signer, your mother, becomes liable. Her home, her credit, her savings, all at risk. You can't do this to her. You did this to her. When you signed a contract, you didn't read. Elena's breathing was shallow now, panicked. Fourth, professional reputation. As of this morning, your termination has been reported to the National Association of Legal Professionals database. Any firm that runs a background check will see it. Terminated for cause, morality violation. He paused. You're blacklisted, Elena. She started crying. Why are you doing this? Liam stood, walked around the desk, stopped 3 feet from her. You want to know why? She nodded. Because you didn't just leave me. You humiliated me. You reduced 5 years of love and sacrifice to a joke for your Instagram followers. His voice stayed level, but his eyes burned. You poured wine on the man who co-signed your loans, who paid your rent when you couldn't, who stayed up until 4 in the morning quizzing you because you were terrified of failing. Pause. You called me a stepping stone, and maybe I was. But stepping stones hold you up, Elena. They keep you from drowning. He leaned closer. And when you kick them, you fall. She sobbed. I'm sorry. No, you're not. You're sorry you got caught. He straightened, buttoned his suit jacket. If I'd been just a teacher, if I hadn't inherited this firm, you'd have gotten away with it. You'd be bragging to your friends right now about how you dumped the dead weight. He walked back to his desk. But I'm not just a teacher, I'm the man who owns your career. He sat down. And I'm taking it back. The guard stepped forward. Ms. Reyes, it's time. Elena looked at Liam one last time. I loved you. He didn't look up. No, you didn't. She was escorted out. The walk of shame was worse than the firing. The elevator ride down felt like it took an hour. At the 25th floor, the doors opened. 3 associates got on, saw her, saw the guards. Their eyes went wide. One whispered to the other. Elena stared at the floor. At the 15th floor, her floor, the doors opened. Marcus, the paralegal, was standing there. He saw her, looked away, stepped aside, didn't say a word. The lobby was worse. It was 8:30 now, the morning rush, dozens of people. Everyone stopped, stared. Doreen, the cafeteria worker Elena had been rude to, stood by the coffee station. She didn't smile, just nodded, like she'd known this was coming. The receptionist, the one whose nameplate Elena had complained about, watched her leave, didn't say goodbye. Elena walked through the lobby, flanked by guards, carrying a small box with her desk items, a photo frame, a coffee mug, a law school diploma. She made it to the parking garage. Her Tesla was still there, but there was a piece of paper on the windshield. Notice of repossession. You have missed 2 consecutive payments. Vehicle will be repossessed within 48 hours unless full payment is made. Elena stood there, box in her arms, staring at the notice. She'd missed the payments because she'd been too busy spending on clothes, on the loft, on celebrating. She got in the car, didn't start it, just sat there for 20 minutes. Then she drove to her mother's apartment. Day 1, Monday afternoon. Elena sat in her loft, the one she couldn't afford, stared at her phone. 15 missed calls, 8 from unknown numbers, 7 from debt collectors. She didn't answer any of them. She opened Instagram. The video had 512,000 views now. The comments were brutal. She just ended her career before it started. Imagine being this stupid. I heard she got fired. Good. Someone had tagged Sterling and Associates. Someone else had found her LinkedIn. Her profile views had spiked, 2,000 in one day, but 0 messages. She tried calling Gregory Hahn, voicemail. She tried texting another mentor. Read at 2:47 p.m. No response. She was alone. Day 2, Tuesday. The letter from the state bar arrived. Character and fitness review. Complaint filed. You have been named in a formal complaint regarding conduct unbefitting a member of the legal profession. You have 14 days to submit a written response. Failure to respond will result in automatic denial of your bar application. Elena read it 3 times. Her hands shook. She needed a lawyer. She called 6 firms. We'll get back to you. None of them did. She Googled her name. The first result. Lawyer fired after viral video shows her assaulting ex-boyfriend. The second. Sterling and Associates terminates junior associate for misconduct. The third. A Reddit thread with 18,000 upvotes titled, "This is why character matters in law." She closed her laptop. Day 3, Wednesday. Her mother called. "Elena, I got a letter. It says I owe $89,000. What is this?" Elena's throat tightened. "Mom, the letter says it's a loan. From Liam. It says I co-signed." "You did." "When?" "5 years ago. When I started law school." "You told me that was a scholarship." "I thought it was." "How do you not know where $89,000 came from?" Silence. Her mother's voice cracked. "Elena, I don't have that kind of money. If I default, they'll take my house." "I know. So what are we going to do?" "I don't know." Her mother hung up. Day 4. Thursday. Tesla Finance called. "Ms. Reyes, this is your final notice. Your vehicle will be repossessed tomorrow at noon unless you make full payment of $12,400. "I don't have it." "Then we'll be collecting the vehicle." They hung up. Elena sat in the Tesla. Her last symbol of success. Tomorrow it would be gone. Day 5. Friday. The repo truck came at 11:47 a.m. Elena watched from her loft window as they loaded her car onto the flatbed, drove away. She stood there for an hour. Then she packed a suitcase. Day 6. Saturday. Elena moved back in with her mother, the studio apartment in the suburbs, the one she'd been so desperate to escape. Her old room, twin bed, posters from high school still on the walls. Her mother didn't yell. She just looked tired. "I thought you'd learned something," her mother said quietly. "I did. I learned how to win." Her mother shook her head. "And where did that get you?" Elena didn't answer. Week 2. The eviction notice came for the loft. She was 3 weeks behind on rent, spent the money on clothes instead. Deadline, 10 days. She didn't fight it, just let it go. Week 3. She applied to 14 law firms, 0 responses. She checked LinkedIn. Her profile views were still high. People were looking. Nobody was hiring. She tried changing her name on her resume. Didn't work. The video was everywhere. Month 2. The bar hearing. Elena sat across from 3 stone-faced attorneys, all older, all disappointed. They played the video. She watched herself pour wine on Liam's head, watched herself smile. The committee chair, a woman in her 60s, looked at Elena over her glasses. "Ms. Reyes, can you explain this behavior?" "It was a personal matter. I was emotional." "You assaulted someone, on camera, for content." "It was just wine." "Battery is battery, Ms. Reyes, and you broadcast it." Silence. "Your application to the bar is on hold, pending further review. This process can take 6 to 18 months. "I can't practice for 18 months. "You cannot practice until we clear you, if we clear you." Elena left the hearing in tears. Month 3. She took a job at a call center, $15 an hour, telemarketing. Her law degree hung on the wall of her mother's apartment, framed, gathering dust. She stared at it every night. Month 4. She tried to reach Liam. Text. "Liam, please, can we talk?" Read. No response. Email. "I'm sorry, I didn't understand what I had. Please forgive me." Auto reply. "This email address is no longer monitored." She drove to his school, waited in the parking lot, saw him walk to his car. She got out. "Liam, please." He stopped, looked at her. "Don't come here again." Got in his car, drove away. Month 5. Her law school friends stopped responding. One finally texted, "I can't be associated with you right now. You understand?" She deleted Instagram. The video was still there, still getting comments, but she couldn't look anymore. Month 6. Elena sat alone in her mother's apartment. late at night, stared at herself in the mirror. The woman staring back wasn't the confident lawyer in the Armani suit. She was the girl from the coffee shop, the one Liam had fallen in love with, the one she'd killed to become someone else. And now she had neither. No Liam, no career, no future, just a law degree on the wall and a debt she couldn't pay. She'd traded the only person who loved her for a life she couldn't keep. 6 months later, Liam stood in front of his AP history class. A student raised her hand. "Mr. Carter, why do you still teach? Aren't you, like, rich?" The class laughed. Liam smiled. "I teach because this is where I'm needed." "But you could do anything." "I am doing what I want." The bell rang. Students packed up. Laughter, chatter. One student stopped at his desk. "Thanks, Mr. C. That lesson was fire." Liam nodded. "See you tomorrow." The room emptied. Liam sat at his desk, looked out the window. He didn't think about Elena anymore. Not with anger, not with regret. She was just a lesson he'd learned, and he'd moved on. 6 months later. Elena sat in the studio apartment, her law degree on the wall. Dusty. On the table, an unopened letter from the state bar. She didn't need to open it. She knew what it said. Her phone buzzed. LinkedIn notification. "Liam Carter viewed your profile." She stared at it. Didn't click. Just stared. He wasn't checking on her. He was making sure she was still there, still living with the choice she'd made. She looked at her reflection in the phone screen, the degree behind her, the letter in front of her, her mother asleep in the next room. Silence. Some prisons have bars. Others have mirrors. So tell me, was Liam wrong? Should he have forgiven her? Was this justice? Or just revenge? Drop your answer in the comments. Because here's what I know. The people who say he went too far are usually the ones who've never been the stepping stone. The people who say he didn't go far enough are usually the ones who've been poured on. Subscribe if you believe consequences are the only teacher some people understand. And remember, stones don't break when you kick them. You do.